Hello, second grade artists. We are going to make a landscape drawing, and a landscape is a drawing of a place. That's why there's the word land in it. We're going to start with our paper tall or wide, whichever way you want to do it. I'm going to make mine tall because I think it fits on my camera better. So first, I'm going to draw a line a little bit higher than the middle of the paper, and my line's going to have a little bump in it. This is going to show my background. That's the farthest land away. So this shows where I have land and where I have sky. The next line I'm going to draw is kind of like a hill line. This line is going to start up a little higher and then do a bump or maybe two bumps and go down to towards the other side. We're going to add one more line that starts on the other side and goes towards the first hill that we made. We made our background, which is in the back, our middle ground, which is a little bit closer, and then our foreground, which is in the front. Background, middle ground, foreground. In our background, we're also going to add some volcanoes because our landscape is going to be prehistoric. So it's going to be from a very long time ago. To make a volcano, you're going to draw two diagonal lines and then a straight line on top. So kind of like a triangle with the top cut off. Now, I'm only going to do one volcano. You can do more than one, but make sure we draw them a little bit bigger because you have to be able to fit your finger inside for what we're going to do next. I am going to draw a circle in my sky. If you want your picture to be a daytime picture, then you're just going to leave it as a circle. If you want it to be a nighttime picture, you could add a little curve inside that small circle to make a little crescent moon. We're also going to add some concentric circles around the sun or moon, and those are circles that just get bigger and bigger and bigger. So we have the small circle inside of a bigger circle, inside of a bigger. Eventually, the circles are getting so big that they're going off of the page. So now I'm just drawing some curved lines to show those bigger circles. It's important that your finger can fit inside all of these spaces as well because we're going to add color next. You have two muffin tins. We have colors like red, orange, yellow, and pink in one. These are called warm colors. And then we have blues and greens and purples in another. These are called cool colors. Warm colors make us think of warm things, and cool colors make us think of cooler things. So like fire, and this makes me think of like cool water or cold nights. If you made a daytime picture, then you're going to use your warm colors in your sky. I'm going to set my cold colors aside for right now. I did not make a daytime picture. I made a nighttime picture. So I'm going to use my warm colors in the land part of my drawing. So to use chalk pastels in a big space, I'm going to lay my chalk down like it's sleeping, and then I'm going to push some color onto the paper. You can do maybe like one or two, maybe even three colors inside each space. It's important that you stay in the lines. So I filled in one space. Remember, if you did a daytime picture, you would be filling in one of these spaces. If you did a daytime picture, you might have to hold your crayon, your chalk pastel rather, like a crayon to kind of color in. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to use my other family up there. So once you've colored in a space, you're going to take one finger to push and blend the color inside of that space. It's important that you don't put all your hands in and start rubbing, and it's also important that you stay inside the lines because if you rub on top of the black oil pastel, then it's going to get black color into your design. So I'm going to finish with warm colors on my land. I'll do a little red and pink together. And remember, use one finger to push and swirl and push that color into the white paper. We're not going to go outside of the lines though. Just keep with one finger inside the lines. All right, I got one more space up here. It's a nice big space, so I have my sleeping pastel on its side. I'm gonna add a little more of this orange. Oh, I thought I had a little darker orange. These are a little bit yellow. All right, so one finger push inside the lines like so. Okay, now I'm finished with my warm colors. These pastels are all going back in the muffin tin. Let's set them aside. Because I made a nighttime picture, I'm going to use my cool colors in my sky. So I'm going to use my oil pastels to sort of color in inside these shapes. So I'm going to color a couple first and then push and blend. So maybe I'll do a little bit of blue in those and a little turquoise. And this one's all turquoise. We're not going to do anything with our volcano yet. I'm going to leave that one be. So you can see I haven't completely colored in my shapes. I kind of did a lot of color, but not totally colored in. So I'm going to start here and push and blend that chalk. It's important that you stay in the lines over here too. It's going to be a little bit trickier to do that because the spaces are smaller, but you can do it. Push that chalk into the paper, staying in the lines. I need a little more. I can see I didn't have quite enough, so I'm going to add a little more on top, and I can keep pushing and blending. Staying in the lines and off of that volcano. It helps me to kind of hold my paper still, too. We don't want to get too chalky today, but we'll do our best to get our paper all covered. All right, I think I only have one more spot that doesn't quite have enough color, and that's in here. I'm going to add a little more of that purple and push that into the paper. Okay, I think I have a nice cool sky and a warm land. So now I am ready to make sure I wipe my hands really clean and put my art in the drying room.